Welcome everyone to today's crypto and stocks TA live stream. Today is December 13th, 2021. It's just after 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For this live stream, if there are any audio, sound, or video issues at all, please let me know in the chat box because the last live stream we did, there was audio clicking buzzing noises the entire hour. So if that happens again, just please let me know. Just type it in the chat box. Just interrupt me so I can fix that audio problem. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to do actually stocks first because this is a pretty big week for stocks. If you're in my free Discord group, I released the weekly watch list. We could check that out first. So we have more economic data coming out this week versus stock earnings. Okay, so stock earnings season is essentially over. It ended several weeks ago. So we have more economic data coming out this week for stocks. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, and FOMC group, they are releasing their economic projections, their press conference and statement on Tuesday, Wednesday. So basically, that's probably going to move the market more than crypto itself. So we also have quadruple witching Friday this Friday, which means that options and futures expiration and rollover is going to happen on this Friday. So there's a lot of volatility and volume moving that's going to happen in the stock market this week, which will roll over into crypto market. So we have to start with the stock market first. All right. Thanks. So I'm trying to figure out what that audio clicking noise is over time. So hopefully it's not too bad. But we'll try to go here if you're saying it's good. All right, so let's start the Dow Jones DJI here. We're on a daily chart. We'll just take off all of our indicators and just look at the price itself. So one good thing we can start off with is the weekly chart or even a monthly chart because November closed. All right, so if you look here at this chart, turn on the drawings now for now. Let me erase this actually. You could see this is our pandemic high in the blue and the pandemic low in the blue. The start of the pandemic to the pandemic low. Actually, it's pre-pandemic to pandemic crash to, I would arguably say we're at our pandemic high right now. And why it's important is because the Federal Reserve tapering program of the US government, they're going to accelerate the tapering, meaning they're going to back off the support of the bond market faster than they said, which is why this Wednesday's meeting is critical because every investor and people on Wall Street are wondering, well, how fast is it actually going to be? They want to know comments on inflation and the tapering program. So it's big on Wednesday. So you can see here the price in the green and the red has essentially been going sideways for 4 months. We're not in a clear uptrend anymore. I just want to point that out to people. Okay, so like 5 months of this year, we've been going sideways. When we go sideways in the market, it means market hesitation, indecision on a monthly chart. Okay, so if we zoom into our weekly chart, you could see we have a little bit of a topping out formation here. Again, it's not an uptrend anymore. We have to be very clear with ourselves. We have to be very objective that this is not uptrend anymore. It's sideways. All right, so we're starting with an investor long-term mindset. Now we're on the daily. Now you can really see the resistance and support levels in the gray lines. We've just been stuck between these two levels. So yes, I did have my trend line drawn here. We did hit that on the top side, and this bottom side is not the cleanest trend line. This makes more sense, something like that. The bottom of it pierced, and we bounced up from that. So now where are we going moving forward for the next couple weeks? We are ending the year here. 3 weeks left for 2021, so investors might be slowing down, especially with the tapering program gaining traction in the past couple of weeks. Also, this is part of a tech sell-off, which we'll go over. But what I want to point out here is this could just be a lower high, meaning the bounce could stop here at 36,000 on the Dow Jones, and then we could pull back to possibly make a higher low in the price. So what I'm saying is it could hit a temporary ceiling for now. And now if we really are clear with ourselves, we could drop down in the stock market until we find a temporary bottom. So this blue is our temporary top. Where can we pull back to? Maybe 35,000, somewhere around here in this range. Okay. It would not, the stock market would not crash like COVID unless something extremely bad happens in the world. So at this point, COVID is basically priced into people's minds in the market and their minds. Like we know what it is now. So, unless there's like something even worse than that, we're not going to drop like that. It's probably just going to be business as usual, like this, low, high bounce, low, high bounce, low, high bounce. So I would expect the same here, low, high bounce until it finds a temporary bottom like this one at the end of December. So that Monday, Tuesday, like 2 weeks ago, was really, really good. I traded that. Is nice, right? But I stayed out of the market the past couple of days because business days, because I knew it's kind of topping out. So I'm going to wait for it to come down. All right. That's enough of that. DJI. Next, SPX, S&P 500. This is important because this represents 80% of the USA stock market, the index. S&P 500, so I'm going to put on more tools to make things go faster. Let's start with the long-term approach again, just really quick. So again, on our monthly chart, you could see we're kind of having this shooting star candle. This is bad. On a monthly, that's not good. Although you can see here, we did get follow through to the upside with the price. But I can see here a 5-wave Elliott wave pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we might be in the last part of this wave up. All right, so just on a monthly chart, okay, for the next 1 to 2 years, which the tapering program was supposed to last 1 year. And if the stock market and economy cannot hold itself up, then stocks would drop, most likely. So on our weekly chart, we can also see the same consolidation to the side. Okay, the RSI is not low. It's not our pandemic low anymore. I just need to point that out to people. Okay, so our daily chart, we are still stuck between this resistance. You can see now a triple top here on this resistance, why I'm being cautious right now in stocks. Triple top, resistance, hit the ceiling 3 times. It tested 3 times and failed. So then the odds are in the favor of the bears that this thing's going to pull back down. We hit it 3 times. We couldn't break through 3 times. If this was a true bull rally, it should have went up, boom, like this, tested and broke out to the upside. But we had Omicron. That's not letting us go up. This could be a psychological dirty head and shoulders, or it's just a triple top formation in the price. So where can we pull back down to? I wrote these levels in my Discord group on the SPY ETF, right? We could pull back to like 463, 458, 4,500, at worst case, 4,300. Again, just watch out for that if you're holding stocks. Just mentally, we're going to get ready for that. Because if this is, again, our lower high in the price, bounce up, we get rejected here, it's probably going to pull back. So our 3 scenarios is if for some reason we have some bull market, amazing fundamental news, it'll just pull back down to here and then pull back down to 4,600 range and then bounce up like that, like this side as an example. But if we turn into a bear market, then this is our price history example in the blue. You can see once we penetrate below the EMAs, the moving averages, the colored lines, then it's going to start downstairs trending pattern until we hit some kind of temporary bottom. And then all the swing traders are going to buy somewhere in this zone, the 44, 4,500. So if I'm a bull, if I'm long only, I'm patient right now because I already made profits on the way up here. So in this hesitation of sideways or potential down wave, no need to rush that as an investor or swing trader. All right, so S&P 500, it's not low price right now. Okay, I just want to point that out for our swing traders in this group. It's not our low on the RSI momentum. Okay, there's not anything like ready to blast off right here. It's actually looking like it wants to pull back down more, gap fill down to 4,600 range. So what I want to point out to people is there's real trend in the market. So this is a downtrend here. Okay, actually we should use a daily chart. Remember, I keep telling people about trend and everyone on the internet is just still in hype mode. But you have to remember the market moves in waves. Okay, so the trend, for example, here in this blue circle, that's an uptrend. The price is going up. That's confirmed by our EMAs going up. This in the middle, the next blue circle, is sideways. That's consolidation where the price goes sideways. That is not uptrend. This circle, that's not uptrend anymore. That's sideways. And it's double topped here at these two arrows. Hit the ceiling twice and reject it down. You lose this support, then the bears are going to attack and short it down. The price attack down. Okay, then we find a temporary bottom. Right, but we could see we have a short-term downtrend here. The price is going downstairs. Then we bounced up on an intraday. The price is going upstairs. But again, what it looks like is happening is another consolidation pattern that's about to form. If we lose the support of 46.5, 4650, then we're looking at downside. All right, next, NASDAQ. Why am I spending so much time on the indexes? Because if you master the indexes, you'll get a better grasp of the market for day trading and swing trading. Okay, it's not random. The price in the stock market is not random. Okay, IXIC, NASDAQ. All right, so I remember my big idea from like a month ago was that we hit this resistance here on the top trend line. On the top trend line here, and we see that we pulled back perfectly down to our trend line support and bounced. But is it uptrend? No. No, this is not an uptrend. This was an uptrend on the left side. You can see here, price going straight up into a consolidation double top, lost the support of 15,600, pulled back down to our trend line yellow line, which is a support level. Experienced traders know to buy this thing, which is why I knew on that Monday I need to wake up and buy something. Need money for 2 days. On that Monday, excuse me, it was December like 6th and 7th and 8th. I didn't trade the 8th. But then I knew we were going to top out because our technicals are telling me that on the charts and we pull back down. So again, you want to watch out for the larger picture, lower low, lower high. We could get a lower low at a worst case. Also, this pullback is partly caused by Tesla sell-off. Elon Musk, he was selling on Friday his shares and he sold on Monday his shares. And I think he sold today as well, if I looked at the the report properly. But he's selling Tesla shares. He's not done. So he's playing it smart. Like I was saying like 2 months ago, he's going to do it in phases. He can't do it all in one day, Elon Musk, because it's like that might be illegal market manipulation. So he's trying to do it like a hedge fund over time, selling slowly. All right, our monthly chart, again, a shooting star on a monthly candle pattern. Let me erase everything. Right here, that's not good. That's not good. Or you could see the 5-wave LA wave pattern. This is a little bit more advanced. You could see it. It's not a perfect LA wave, but the psychology is there. Might be better seen on a weekly. You can also just look at it just momentum wise. Okay, if this is our pandemic low, we're not really going up anymore. You know what I mean? We're not really going up trending anymore. It's kind of like losing momentum and going sideways. So at a certain point, if we lose enough momentum, then it'll pull back. Not down all the way there, but it's going to pull back to our levels of support like 15,000, 14,000, 13, 12. Just nice even numbers like that. We have a trend line on the downside, so it's just riding that trend line. You can see here, right? Last year's trend was much, much stronger. Very, very steep trend line. It's like a bull's paradise dream. Right now it's kind of favoring the bulls a little bit more. Every time that we try to push up in this price, it pulls back down. So people are getting a little anxious with Omicron and with the Federal Reserve tapering. But for day traders, is there volatility in the market? Yes, there's plenty of volatility in this market. So for me, what it looks like, if we're going to go in a day trader, swing trader mindset, for example, 4 hour, we could see our lower low, lower high. So we could pull back to 15,000 this week. But again, because I'm a long, I'm a bull, this is not the lowest spot of value. I just know on the charts. I've seen this pattern many times. And I need to see low in my oscillators and some momentum forming on this purple here, on the red down here, and the price. I need to see a price pattern. Intraday, yes. If you're like a scalper or something, a day trader, then yes, tomorrow morning we could bounce. It's possible. If I just Fibonacci, this is an intermediate advanced tool. I want to see it kind of come down to like 15,200 or 15,300 before I enter another long position. Also, it just started downtrending on these 15-minute EMAs, the moving averages. So what does that mean? We use technical analysis to do price forecasting, and there's patterns that happen over and over again. So if you see here, in this section of the blue, it kind of reminds me of right here in terms of just a couple weeks ago, where we had a topping formation, little topping formation, and then it pulls back down under the lines. You see that? So it looks like it wants to pull back. The bears might attack the Dow Jones. And then as it gets low on the RSI and the oscillators, we might see the bounce up for short term. All right, if we were in an uptrend and I need to see it above the EMAs like this in the blue, that's not happening right now. So it could turn, at a worst case, it could turn into this from end of November where you see it starts downtrending hard. Okay, so our three scenarios with the NASDAQ and with all these indexes, I'm just saying for the past 15 minutes, is if we start, this is the bearish case, bear red. If it keeps pulling down, it's going to keep going down until we hit the bottom of this RSI. Then value traders and day traders are going to pop back into the market and just get that one leg up. Just buy from here to here and then make money. Very simple. If they manage the risk and don't FOMO and don't have any emotional reaction to the market, you just get ahead of things. But if we're going to stop and let's say Jerome Powell on Wednesday has some really bullish information and it's going to inspire confidence in people, then we might see the price of the market stop and say, hey, wait a second, maybe we're going to recover in this market from Omicron or the economy faster, and then we'll start trending up again. So I would watch for that. The only two levels you need to watch out for on the NASDAQ is 15,000. Let me take these lines off. Now we just do price analysis. You just look here, 15,500, 15,400, and you can put it 15,300. That's all you need to do. Very short-term trend lines, you could draw something like that. You could see the setup is there, right? So I'm looking at 15.35, 15.25, like that, for downside targets here in this blue area. So how is this going to reverse into an uptrend? If you're a bull, the price needs to break out here, retest, and go up like that. If it's going to break down, it needs to do this, right? So you just need to watch these two levels. It's very simple, but that's the strategy that Wall Street uses. All right, so let's keep going here. I know people always ask me about Tesla, and they always ask me about RIVN. We do have RIVN earnings if this calendar is correct, so maybe we'll look at some of those stocks. All right. Let's actually, before we do that, let's take a look at Tesla. We have to, okay? Because Elon Musk is selling very quietly. He's not announcing it on Twitter anymore. It's just if you read the right reports, he's confirming the selling. It's like 100% him. So Tesla, all right. You can see on our monthly, we're getting monthly consolidation, a big red candle, which is all him this month. What I want to watch out for is this is a monthly evening star triple candle down reversal pattern. This right here is not good. That's not good. This is called evening star. You can look it up on Google. When you have something like this, when you have an up green to any color, small one in the middle, the next one will pull down like that usually. So you want to watch out for that. It's happening on the charts right now. The last time we got evening star was this one. Back in 2020, you could see, right, what happens. Could it keep going up? It could, but for this particular month, it looks like that's what it's going to turn into, evening star. But this is pandemic right here, so that's why we recovered. With the tapering program starting now, we actually might not keep recovering. So this could be a big warning sign on the charts right here. Weekly, you can see it pulling back. Price. All right, we don't have bullish momentum anymore. Look, we have some bearish momentum on the charts, on the oscillators. But you can see we have these invisible supports here that's mathematically calculated. 870, 758, 600, 400. Man, if Tesla ever goes to 400, like I'll buy that in a heartbeat, unless there's some problem with the company. But those are like very, very long-term bearish targets. All right, our daily chart, again, it's not the lowest low on the oscillator, so Tesla can keep crashing here. It all depends. We need Elon Musk to finish selling. He needs to be done selling, and then there's hope. There could be some hope for Tesla. But for now, he's basically in control of this stock. The shorts, the shorts, the put options, all the sellers are in control right now. How do I know this? Because even before we draw stuff, is you just look at the price. I'm going to turn everything off here. Okay, this is what people need to get good at. This is why I stream. I'm trying to help people here. It helps me too. All right, is this price right here in the blue circle, is this going up or is this going down? Right here in the blue circle. Okay, this recent November to December. Is the price, the white line, is it uptrending or is it downtrending? Somebody please tell me in the chat box. This is the key for technical analysis. So price. All right, I'm not going to make people wait too long. This thing is downtrending. Downtrending. Okay, how do you know? You can look at the angle of the price. It's angling down like that. If it's going up, it would be look at May to October of this year. This is up trend. Okay. Yes, people are saying like, oh, it's so easy to see, but then at the same time, it's like people are telling me they keep losing money on this. So I'm like trying to teach people. If you're long, like my mentors tell me, if you're long, just don't even buy downtrends. Like if you want to be like the safest trader investor, just don't even buy downtrends as an investor, and then you just like reduce your risk by probably more than 50%. If you know how to analyze charts, you realize that I didn't even turn on any indicators. We just asked ourselves one question, right? We asked ourselves one question. What is the price doing on this daily chart, Tesla? So if you're a long, right, short, if you're I'll just start up. If you're a long, if you're a bull, you want things to go green, this is not the greatest spot to buy yet. It's not the lowest price of Tesla yet on this day chart. If you're a short, if you're a red, if you're a put option, you are rejoicing. You are jumping for joy right now if you shorted and put option this, right? Exactly. It expires on the 23rd, right? So you're like super happy right now. If you're short and you put option, you shorted this thing properly on off of 1244, 1144 down to the downside because it's downtrending. As a short, you are so happy right now. But if you're a long, okay, then you want to look for levels of value. So where are the levels of value? We just lost 382 today, the 382 level. Okay, let me bring my watches back up. We just lost 978 today. Where's the gap fill to the downside? You can see here gap fill support right here. Okay, it's just bouncing off of that. So our intraday traders, yes, it is oversold intraday. Okay, don't get me wrong about that. But if we're talking long term, okay, you can see here the trend is down. So until I see an uptrend reversal, I'm not excited about Tesla as a long, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, double bottom. We could bounce up this week. It's possible. Possible. For day traders, that's what day traders do. We do have this double bottom on our 1 hour. We do have it on our 4 hour. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow morning, 6:30, 9:30, your time zone, the bears try to push it down one more time, and the bulls will say, nope, intraday bulls are going to bounce that thing up to create the next lower high. in the price. Okay. I would not short it here. On a day trade, I'm not going to short it here because it's not the price. It's not the time. The proper time to short it was here at 1,000, and you could have exited your position today or tomorrow as a day trader. Okay. So it's just, you have to have the correct strategy. Is if you're a short, you want to short things off of resistance rejection, like right here. You can see it on the charts right here, right here, right here, and right here. Okay, right now for a day trader intraday, these are all long setups, long bounce, day trade, long bounce, long bounce. Problem, maybe it looks like another long bounce at some point. Right, it could pop down. You could see what the bears do is they attack one more time to kick everybody out of their their stop loss, and then they buy back again to close their position and make double money on the way up. That's how the pros do it if you're a pro day trader. But if you're, I'm talking long term because I like long term setups. You don't have to wake up every single day and fight in the market. You could just, it's like relax. You know what I mean? You could just relax in life. So, um, longer term, it looks like it's going to pull back. Probably might pull back to 900 or 800. That's, some of those long-term targets if we ever get there. It looks like 900 is probably where it might end up, but we do have the double bottom now in the intraday. So long story short, we might bounce up on the day trader side for like a 5-minute 15 setup. You can see it looks like it's making a little valley right above our gap resistance here. So day traders might push this thing up to like a 978 or 985 tomorrow or next couple days. But again, it depends on that. What is it? The FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Okay, but swing traders, they know, okay, yeah, there's a double bottom opportunity here. We could bounce up, fine, which is normal. That's the bull case. Okay, so bull case, we bounce up off this double bottom down here on this price, like that. But if Elon Musk continues to sell and we lose the gap support, then it's going to crash down probably to 900 or 950. So watch out for that. All right. Next on Rivian, we have Rivian earnings in 3 days. So again, why do I spend so much time like on every single stock is because if you realize I'm talking on 3 time frames. I do an investor long term, a swing trader medium term, a day trader short term. So now we should have some better scenario grasp on the stock market so that there's no surprises. You pretty much know what's going to happen. If it goes up, we just talked about it. If it goes down, we just talked about it. So now you have a better idea. All right, so Rivian Automotive. All right, so this is that EV car company backed by Amazon and has earnings in 3 days. It's probably going to be volatile. So earnings, personally, I don't play earnings until 24 to 48 hours after the earnings release. That's just something I learned over time. I don't play the earnings released 1 minute after it comes out, right? So on this day, if we're very honest with ourselves, we might have an upside down head and shoulders on Rivian Automotive. But this is in isolation though, okay? Right here. If this happens, okay, this is one potential bull setup right here. If it happens, we could get plus 20% on Rivian if we breaks above 122. That's very nice. If that actually happens. It might not, okay? So it's just one potential setup. It is consolidating, but it's if this turns out to be real, that would be a beautiful long setup. It did also retrace almost all the way down to its like $95 lowest low. But again, if they have bad earnings for whatever reason, so if Tesla keeps crashing, Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ keeps crashing, if Rivian doesn't have what it takes on the technicals and the fundamental corporate earnings release to get massive hype and get people to buy, this thing could reject. So let's look at the opposite scenario. Is sometimes a head and shoulder doesn't, upside down head and shoulder doesn't work. So it's resistance at 122. And this thing could, if it doesn't find its higher low, it could pull back down. Okay. So it could pull back down to like a 114. But this is, I don't know, it looks very suspicious to me. Inverse head and shoulders. Watch out for that. All it's going to take is someone to buy, the retail buyers to just buy this thing, break above 122, Reddit, Twitter, social media is going to be up like you could just see it. So the two scenarios in this price is higher high, higher low. If it's going to be bullish, higher high targets 127, pull back here, then 138. If all the Reddit, Wall Street, Robinhood people jump on this, like maybe 145 is a target. Just on technicals alone. We're not talking about fundamentals here. All right, but so if you want to keep it simple, you could just draw two lines. It's resistance at 122 and support at 114. That's it. Just need to understand that the target, if this technical pattern comes true, is 17% to the upside, maximum for now, 143. If it goes double the target, if something incredible, amazing happens, it might go back all-time high 164. That's double the target. So you just play these two levels. I would set an alert. You know what? Let me do it for example right now. Okay, this is how I do it. 122.82, Alt A, set your alert. You have to type the price. 122. Let's put 122 and resistance, breakout, play long. All right, so now this thing every time should tell me right there. Okay, and if I'm going to set alert at 114, which is our support to the downside, of support level breakdown short play could be, I'm going to label things. Okay, so if you don't like sitting in front of a computer 8 hours a day, okay, this is how you do it. This is why I like swing trading and investing. I don't have to wake up every single morning and try to trade every single morning. You just get ahead of things. And this is a swing trader setup. This is what swing traders like. It's value. And there's a pattern here. So all that needs to happen is we need good corporate earnings and hype. Then the technical pattern might actually complete. 17% in this market is very good. That's 1.7 years of stock gains on average. So that's not a joke. So on our 4 hour, okay, it's not the lowest low. I remember on our stream we kind of called this lowest low together like $100. I remember that day right here that we were saying that, hey, if it breaks down the support, it's probably going to $100. Hit that bottom, bounced up, and now it's consolidating into the head and inverse head and shoulders pattern. So I think I talked enough about that for now. So now you're ready for that. We're all ready for that RIVN in 3 days. All right, so let's go to the next one. We had some heavy volatility here, like AMC. My goodness. AMC, my goodness. Let's take a look at this. Okay, this is a continuation off the GameStop earnings we had on Wednesday. All right. So if you're in my Discord, this is why I type the weekly watch list. Because if you rewind and you look at my Discord, GME GameStop is on the list. Okay, this is why I write it down, because if you experience in the market, if you have a really bad earnings, momentum into corporate earnings and is bad, it's going to pull that stock down. Shorts are going to attack. Okay, so I was saying it's right into our 618 zone, which is good. It's not the lowest low on the daily charts, but GameStop hitting this intraday low on the oscillators. So we could see a bounce in a couple days. It's in the 618 zone. It's very nice. Oh, thank you so much, Taylor. Really appreciate the 350 coins. Thank you so much for the 350 coins. It's going to keep this stream going. I'm glad it's helping. And thank you for following, watching, and chatting. Always appreciate it. Thank you, Taylor. So this is good. This is good on GameStop. The 618, 133 area. It doesn't look like it's the bottom, but it's getting there. So all it needs is shorts need to eventually close their position. There is some momentum building, but it's not like Actually, I take that back. It could be ready to go as early as tomorrow. Okay. Because again, the psychology with the stock market is if anything good happens with the Federal Reserve, because they might do that, right? Because if you think about it, Omicron is so bad. The Omicron is so bad, and we're going to holidays, and so would he really, the Federal Reserve, really release bad news like right now? Very interesting, right? With the stocks. So just something to think about, food for thought. All right, our 618 level, which is a nice value spot on the Fibonacci for our swing traders out there. Intraday, it's low enough. So we could get a bounce on this 1 hour, 4 hour. But don't quote me on that because the bears, they love shorting and attacking until the last like 5 minutes. Okay, so that's what Wall Street, it's kind of funny, is they like to attack as hard as they can, and then they'll just like everybody's gonna get out like that. So that's the psychology of the price. Lower low, lower high, lower low. So somewhere in this zone, probably above 120. Maybe I might initiate a long. I have to see like the risk reward here. Always got to pull this tool up. All right, so if it's 5%, okay. Wow, 20%, 10% to the upside could be good. Let me bring up one other tool that I like to use, the ATR. Let me just see on this 4-hour intraday how much this price moves on average. It moves about $8. So an $8 move down to 128. What is that? So it's like plus or minus 6%. So you might have to make the stop loss 6% and the target 12%. So that's how you use that, right? It's not random. The risk to reward ratio is not random. It's calculated. You can calculate it using that tool. That's a little more advanced though. So how I'm going to end here on GameStop is our resistance at 162, our support levels are like upper 120s. You have to look left for that. You can see here 120 itself. We just lost 136, so it looks like 120 is our big line in the sand before it could potentially drop down to like a 110 or 100. So AMC, that's why, unless there's bad news that I didn't see, that I didn't see on AMC. Let me see. Yeah, it's just the loss of momentum. Like you can see here, I think I remember telling people this is a descending triangle on AMC. That's bad. For the most part, it's a descending triangle. It's going down. So again, if we had the breakout play, there's that this green box. That's over now. So you can see what happened here. Lower low, lower high, lower low. That's what I'm saying. This is the shorts attack. You lose the support, shorts attack. Rejection, test, retest, rejection. Oh, shorts love that so much. This is their arena. This is what the shorts do. You can measure it too. Measurable in the triangle, that's why we use technical analysis, like 50% to the downside or 25%. How much did it go? 25%, 30%. Basically a 25% target hit. So it's not random what is happening in this market, except we are getting kind of low on these oscillators. Do we have momentum building to the upside? We do. We do. So it's a matter of, with these meme stocks, we need to find the bottom, just like Tesla, find the bottom and then bounce up to create the lower high. Like this, low, high, somewhere low, and then bounce up to the high. So if someone's a day trader, they are like thirsting for that right now. They're not thirsting for it, they're preparing for it. That the possibility any day now, it's going to happen, and then they're going to strike, and it's going to pump up just for that 1 or 2 days. And then if any bad news happens, it's going to pull back down. Or we could trend change up. All right, so those are two differences here. All right, I think I talked about stocks a little too long right now, but these patterns and trend and the tools that I'm showing applies for any stock. That's why I'm just using these big examples to show you. It applies for every time frame, every stock and crypto out there. These are the like tools we need to master. Because if I turn everything off on AMC, another lesson for even for myself, just a reminder for myself, is if you look at the price here of 2021 on AMC, it is not uptrending anymore. If you zoom out to the pandemic, oops, you zoom out to the pandemic low, which was here, right here. Okay, I should draw this for you. is it was consolidating for a really long time. Then we started going into an uptrend. Now it was consolidating and now it's angling down. Okay, so AMC is downtrending whether we want to believe it or not. It is not doing this anymore. It is doing down. So that's why if you're long and you keep trying to trade and it's not working, it means we're going against the trend. And all the masters of trading in their books, they always say, don't fight the trend. If it's going down, don't fight it as a long. That's why if you're shorting, you're rejoicing right now. Shorts are so happy right now. If you're a bull, patience is the name of the game. Swing trader and investor. Let's switch over to Bitcoin and what end here. All right, Bitcoin. First, even before going to Bitcoin, we always got to check total market cap, the entire index. Let's look at it because it gives us such incredible clues. I have too much here. I'm just going to erase that now because my idea is already that it's pretty much over now. So I can make a new idea in the future. This is the total market cap of crypto. It's most of all the cryptocurrencies combined in dollar value. So again, what made us crash technically wise is we had the head and shoulders form on the total. So now we're in crypto mode. Head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, just a little lower, neckline, measure it, negative, what is that? Negative 12%. So negative 12% to the downside, we went way more than that. So it looks like negative 24% could be the next target. So our negative 12%, we already hit that just now. All right. But again, the lesson again is the crypto market in this daily right here. And is this uptrending or downtrending in the blue circle right now? This is the key. We don't even have to look at any indicators. We just look at the price on a daily chart. Is it uptrending or is it downtrending? Somebody tell me. In any of these three chat boxes, somebody tell me. Yes, downtrend. Thank you. So that's why day traders who are trying to long this thing on the way down are getting destroyed. Unfortunately, I'm sorry if that's happened to you, but that's the market. Is one retail, everything I learned in the market is one retail trader's account is not powerful enough money-wise, right? The big money controls this market. Whales, hedge funds, institutions, $1 million funds, $1 billion funds, they control the market, not one person's retail account. So if we're considering ourselves retail or individual investors, we're using technical analysis. We have to time the market in general better than most other people. That's why we use TA, technical analysis on the charts. So I was thinking about this before I started streaming. I looked at this. If we have another Dogecoin type China market crash, crash, how long did that take? It went from May all the way down to July. So that was about 3 to 4 months. And the only reason we bounced up, if you remember the history, is we had good news here and we had good news here. All right. So the technical sometimes is run by the fundamental news. Is what was it here? El Salvador legalizes Bitcoin, basically. And then the second blue circle is USA FOMC meeting said that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are legal in the USA. That's what sparked this last run, but there was not enough momentum and buyers in the market for us to keep going to 100K. It's just not going to happen this year, probably in the next 3 weeks, because we're downtrending on the day chart. So for me, I'm just not interested in cryptos in the USA until I see a good pattern or there's only two things going to bring me back in the market: a good chart pattern, bull green uptrend, or there has to be some major fundamental news that the US government's doing for USA for me to hop back into the market. For now, I'm just relaxing right now. That's what I learned. If I'm long only on crypto, which in USA most of us are, if it's downtrending, just relax on crypto. Okay. Yes, let's bring up our EMAs. The 3 EMA and EMA 9, that's too short term for me. Okay, where are we right now? The price just testing our 200 EMA. So if there is bullish divergence, if we're going to talk about indicators and oscillators, yes, there's bullish momentum forming. Okay, on the weekly, yes, our weekly momentum, our MACD cross has hit to the downside, which is why I'm warning people on this stream and for this month is watch out for the potential downside. Okay, where are our targets to the downside? Let's switch to crypto so we could get some. Yeah, so if we get a death cross on a 5200, that would be really bad. So let's switch to Bitcoin. Okay, we go to Bitcoin. And the reason why like C system, don't worry. Like I know these indicators for sure. Trust me. It's just I try to keep it simpler for people on the stream. Because if I start talking only about indicators, like half the people won't know what I'm saying, probably. So even without indicators, you could do it. This is why I like to do it this style. Because if you even draw it like this, okay. I remember saying on the futures chart like a month ago of Bitcoin is that we were here at the top. So I was saying just be aware we're at the top of this yellow trend line, right? And then where's the bottom side target? This trend line or below that? So we hit this top side resistance at the 68,000, 67,000, started downtrending, okay? So actually what I'm doing like is this is classic technical analysis, okay? Because everything I learned in this market is if you rely too much only on one indicator and not looking at the price, you're not even then it's not, to me, it's not technical analysis, right? If you're just only looking at MACD and RSI and that's the only thing you stare at, right? The price is infinitely more important than any indicator because all the indicators are calculated from the price. So the price is the master indicator, right? If you study classical technical analysis, this is what it is. In general, I'm just simplifying on the stream. So we have our resistances at 68,000, 60,000, 50,000, 40,000. Okay, so you could see even if I'm just putting these resistance and support lines, okay. You draw your trend lines, right? To me, this is not Robinhood style because a lot of Robinhood Reddit traders, they don't use technical analysis at all. So if you're on TradingView, like these are the 4 basic tools you got to master: support, resistance, trend lines, price action, multi-time frames, but that's kind of more advanced. And then you could just pop on any of your indicators. Just too many people, they just jump on the EMAs and like the oscillators, and then you could do it that way. But from my experience, is sometimes I gotta look at it as a price. All right, so we know we lost this trend line, okay? And the way to find the support on the downside, I like to use Fibonacci. So it looks like we're going to hit our 618 target of 44,000 here. If we lose that, it looks like 40,000. If we lose that, 37K, 34K, 30,000K. So our miners, they want the price to stay above 30,000 to be profitable in their mining. So again, this what I'm talking about right now, it goes beyond just indicators. Is you have to think about business. If you're a crypto mining business, anything above $30,000 is profitable Bitcoin. Meaning if they mine a little bit of Bitcoin or even one Bitcoin, but 90% of Bitcoin has been mined already, the supply, so they're not really mining one Bitcoin. They're mining a little bit. But if you're a mining operation, okay, and your basic bottom line is $30,000 Bitcoin needs to stay above there, mathematically calculated. You could just research that on Google. Is anything here is profit to them? right? So anything above 30,000, 35,000 is they say they can sell their Bitcoin at any time and they just make money. Miners love to just wait to for market tops. So part of this crash is our miners selling hedge funds, shorts, put options. Okay, and we lost the trend line. Very simple, right? No hype or emotion needed. Just draw your 4 lines or your 2 lines, right? I kept saying if we lose 53,000, looking at downside. Okay, 40,000, 50,000. We lost 50,000 on that one particular day, December 2, 3, 4. Not good. So until I see, like I keep saying on my other streams, I need to see a double bottom pattern. I need to see a basing of support. Okay. If that doesn't happen, this thing is going to keep plummeting down. Okay. I was thinking about this before I started streaming. Just because the number is $46,932 does not mean it's safe. Because we're at 68, 50,000 on Bitcoin, it's not safe. Not safe. To me, we should have a $1,000, 1,000x coin split. To me, the real Bitcoin price should be like $46 or $4, not 46,000. It's just the way Bitcoin's set up is it's not designed to have the coin split. So this is a fake number to me psychologically, right? Because you think about the float supply, there's only like 16 million Bitcoins or something like that approximately for the float. That's very small. It's a very volatile asset. It's not safe. Crypto's not safe. So we just need to never feel that way in the market. Anything can happen. It's the Wild West. So where are our targets? And before we move on, okay, there's a 46,000, 44,000, 40,000. But again, the downtrend on the 4-hour, if you want to talk indicators like C-System and other traders, is we are downtrending on our EMAs. That in itself is bad. Okay, if you know how to use EMAs, that's bad because the EMAs are trend indicators. So again, when was the last time we had a 4-hour death cross on a downtrend? Again, May, June, July. Okay, so you see, to me, that's why I say the RSI sometimes. I don't care about the RSI and MACD because from experience, I know sometimes the bottom of the RSI, the first one, that's not the bottom of the price, right? That's why I have my hybrid style. I try to do more classic analysis, longer term. You can see here when you had just because you have a low purple RSI in this blue, that's not the bottom of the structure. So we just get our lower high bounce or another lower low. Even down here was not the bottom of Bitcoin, right? So that's why for me, I'm just relaxing right now. Just do your TA, set your targets, and then wait for the pattern, wait for the TA to complete itself. It's going to take patience, discipline, emotional control, risk management. So right here on the RSI, okay, just because it's bounced down here and it's low, this is not the bottom of Bitcoin, in my opinion, right? Because it's still downtrending. If we're talking long term, we're not talking about 1-2% scalp on day trade futures. We need to watch out for our breakdown of support. Where's our support right here? 46,500. If we lose that, going straight down to 44. Probably short's going to attack all the way down to 40,000. Okay, what's going to make me change my mind to get me back into this market? Let me bring up a different chart. Is this. If we start basing and we start going sideways right here, then I'm going to get interested again in Bitcoin. If the price does this, that's good for now. Because that would mean we find our support level on Bitcoin. All right. But if we just bounce up and we get stuck here and we just get stuck under 50,000 for several weeks, that would be bad. That would be bad. So if you want to get really accurate about it is, okay, yeah, we kind of have this flag down here. Measure the flag. Where's our targets? Plus or minus 5% on Bitcoin. This is where the discipline comes in, right? Because that's why you don't really hear me talk so much about news or social media hype, is because everybody has access to that already. To me, it doesn't matter. What matters is the price on the chart. Where are my targets? 5% to the upside, 5% to the downside. That's all that matters. And then the actual price structure. But even so, we turn everything off again, cleanse our minds from all the hype of TA and fundamentals and social media. Is even if I turn this off, you could see we went from the uptrend to the consolidation sideways to the downtrend. So now that we're downtrending as a bull long, I need to wait for the bottom if I'm trying to get best value in this market. You can already see here, this one candle wick was very suspicious. It pushed us all the way down to 40,000. So we know we have buyers down here. We know people are at 40,000 above, right above here, where they want to buy. You could verify that with the support price cluster on the left side. You can also verify it if you want to use volume profile indicator. Okay, but if we looking at our 4-hour, we have our trend line up here on the top side. And our trend line support, which we got violated to the downside, but it's still there. And why did all of a sudden did I get so strict about Bitcoin? Okay, is because Bitcoin is so much more volatile than stocks. Okay, and the correlation with oil and Bitcoin is just very high right now. So we'll talk about oil as well. So we'll get our two targets and move on from the educational segment. Is again our support resistance. That's it. That's it. Where's our further support? And this is in our free Discord group. 44,000, 40,000. Very simple. If we want to get some additional Fibonacci targets, here we go. So the X marks the spot right down here if we're going to get down there, right at 44,000 to 40,000. If we lose 40,000 and we do not recover, like if the price does this, Bitcoin's in big trouble. Bitcoin would be in big trouble. Okay. But again, forecasting out all the way down there, that's why I don't like to do like 3-month forecasting, because all that matters is the current price. Is where have we seen reversal signals in Bitcoin? Right here. We had a triple bottom. We had a descending wedge breakout pattern. So I'm looking for that right now. On our current price structure on the 4-hour and our daily, there's like not much of that right now. Maybe one could argue this could be basing right now. But until we have an uptrend reversal, it's still going to be a downtrend for me. If we have one pop up to 50,000, okay, great. But for me, are we going to get bull continuation here? That's the bigger question. Because if we do not get bull continuation to the upside on Bitcoin, then the long-term uptrend on our Bitcoin weekly and monthly is definitely in jeopardy. All right. So we have to zoom out. This is the last thing I said about Bitcoin. Is if we look at our weekly, a lot of more experienced traders. Okay. That's why you don't see me ever talk about 1 minute, 5 minute, because I don't do that anymore. Is we look at right here, our double top formation in the yellow box. Just that alone, you can know it could be potentially bad. All right. So if we lose 30,000 or 40,000, especially if we lose 30,000, Bitcoin is in huge trouble. And I said this on last stream. It would be negative, basically 80 to 90%. It would be the crypto crash, the true crypto crash. It would be game over for bulls. We would have to wait for like a year or two for that market to crash, right? But right now, what the market is doing, it's not uptrending on a weekly. It is sideways on a weekly if you look at this price cluster, right? So there's plenty of room, negative 15, negative 32%. And I've lived through 1 or 2 crashes in the Bitcoin market. It is not impossible. It just, how long does it take? It takes 1.5 years, about 1 year, right? So if we lose 30,000, we would be probably go downtrend for like a year straight until 2023, end of 22, 23. And then people will be crying on their computers, right? But I'm telling you now, if we lose 30,000 and we do not have enough bullish momentum, if stock market keeps crashing, oil keeps crashing, crypto keeps crashing, then that's the bearish long-term view we're looking at. The only thing that can save the market now is we need big fundamental news. Because again, the 2 temporary bottoms, that was all fundamentals of government. Me too. I wish I could short and like put option on Bitcoin. That would be beautiful, just like Tesla. But in America, I cannot. There's many futures, but I don't do that. So again, our indicators, just like some of our other traders have said, we did get our bearish divergence, just a baby bearish divergence, but it's there. If you're really, I love indicators. And so on my own personal time, I use indicators a lot. So yes, we did lose momentum. We had the bearish divergence in the blue. And we had another bearish divergence on our MACD EMAs right here. Okay, to the downside. We also lost momentum on our RSI. Okay, this is why this is happening. It takes time. So again, I'm looking at a 3-month horizon, time horizon for Bitcoin for this thing to like really, really pull back down. You can see on the weekly EMAs, our target's 44, 33, 23. That's all we need to think about with Bitcoin. It's one of two things. We're either going to hold Bitcoin above 44,000 or 40,000. If we lose that, Bitcoin's in trouble. Okay. But isn't BTC? I'll answer that question. So what I want to see, just the last thing I'll say on the weekly, is I want to see this. I want to see a lot of stick buyers, a lot of wick buyers down here. Once I see that in the market, I know we hit some temporary bottom. Okay, that's the big clue. The question is do I have the patience, knowledge, and emotional control to wait 119 days if it's going to take that long? Because if you realize, we might have just got the first candle wick, right? Like this. But who knows? We might have to wait 60, 90 days. Do I have that patience? Do you have that patience? That's the question. Okay, so somebody asked me, isn't BTC in an ascending wedge since 2021? Depends on the time frame. So you might be talking about ascending triangle, like one of my old ideas like this, right? You're talking about this? If you're talking about this formation, it is, yes, but we lost the trend line. So what if we're in a true bull market, it should have stopped here at if you watch my stream a couple times, 53,000 was our line in the sand. I kept saying if we lose that, we downtrend and we bounce up, then it's bad. This is supposed to be a bullish pattern by textbook definition, but no pattern is 100% correct. So what happened is this was our huge line in the sand, 53,000, and the shorts said nope, and all the stop losses got triggered, and now we bounced up, but we're stuck below 52,000, 50,000. So unless we break up into the triangle is probably not happening. All right, so we have to remember that triangles can also fail. This was our 50% target, our 100K. But at the same time, our 50% to downside would bring us down to $25,000 Bitcoin. So the target can go both ways, up or down on the triangle. We just always have to prepare for downside. So is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. We just have to stop here, make a base, go sideways. Everyone buys in. And once it goes up, people get hyped about crypto again, and we might have a breakout in the future. That's the bull case up. Bear case is we reject down and we keep rejecting down to 30,000, 40,000. Alrighty, so that's what I was saying. The trend line was key. I remember saying that for like a month straight right here, maybe a couple weeks straight. Intraday though, it's a different story. If you're a trade like 5-minute 15, it's low enough that we might see the bounce in the next couple days. But I'm a longer term Bitcoin trader. Okay, so again, why am I spending so much time on stock indexes and Bitcoin? Is because if you master those, more than 50% chance, if you do it correctly, you might be able to catch the bounce. Last thing I'll say on Bitcoin, sorry, right here is we do have bullish momentum. So we're not going to crash down to 40,000 probably in one day. Is we could bounce up. It's showing here it's low enough on our 4-hour, on our daily. We could get a daily bounce up. So I'll be watching for that. I want to see this happening. 50,000 is our upside target right now. So that's the last thing I said about Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, similar deal. Ethereum holding above our 200 EMA. That's our last line in the sand. So just mentally, we have to be prepared for 3,300 Bitcoin. 3,300 Ethereum on this bottom side right here. Do we have bullish MACD divergence, meaning momentum to the upside? We do. We do. I'll answer that question at the end. Also, I see you. You don't have to all caps. So Ethereum right here is, even before we look at the oscillators, are we downtrending Ethereum? We are on a daily. This is downtrending. We were uptrending. This is the tricky part. This looked like a higher low base, but then the downtrend, if we lose that, then it starts going downstairs. That's bad. So then if we're downtrending, I look at my downside targets. We just hit the 50% retrace. That's the first level of value for experienced traders. Second level of value, 618 right here, 3,500. So I'm going to imagine we can forecast and call it out now. You can already see it touched that 618. There's definitely buyers in this region. They're just waiting. Experienced traders, they all have their orders down here. Their buy orders are all cascaded, ready to go down here. The bots, it's all ready. You look at an order book on Binance, it's all there. You scroll down. It's there on the order book. The question is are we going to get one more crash down into it or not? A 4 hour, 1 hour has momentum. So we might get one more pullback down to like 3,500 and then bounce back up. That's what it looks like right here. Something like that, back up to 4,000 test. All right, but what can change and cancel all this is if the Federal Reserve is very, very bearish on Wednesday, that's bad. So this week's meeting is huge. Very important meeting in stocks and crypto. Or for stocks, at least. You can see our trend line got violated to the downside. It was retested here. It was retested. Okay. So again, I want to see like a double bottom, a triple bottom, a basing right above the 618. Then I might re-enter and get excited about Ethereum. But for now, on a daily, I'm going to wait a little bit longer. But if you're an intraday trader, swing trader, you might want to start building a position, right? We start talking risk reward. The first attack for the trade could be something like this, 3% on the downside, 6% to the upside, 2-to-1 reward to risk. That's an easy day trade. You have one order there and you put one order down here and you covered yourself. 2 orders on the downside. One of those was going to bounce up. All right, let's just look really fast of all these before we end, because I know people like crypto. So Binance, we hit this resistance right here and we're downtrending. So watch out for the Binance coin supports at 500 and 450, right in this blue circle. Because again, if it's going to downtrend, the price is going to stop somewhere, right? X marks a stop, X marks a spot, 475 could be a good spot of value. 1 second. Could be a good spot of value. Right here, 475, 450, a Binance coin. Our trend line support, right? We lost the smaller intraday trend line support here, and it looks like it wants to stop down there on a day chart. Did we hit our 4-hour low on intraday? We did. So it looks like we could bounce up on crypto in the short term. I'm just giving you a longer term target. Cardano. Do we have bullish divergence? Momentum? We do. So Cardano is getting close enough to this lower trend line that it looks like it might. Right here, again, right at the dollar, X marks a spot. There's 3 reasons: psychological dollar, trend line, and a support, horizontal support. There's 3 reasons why people might buy at dollar Cardano. And the technicals are lining up for that. Yes, it isn't a downtrend Cardano on the daily, but there's some serious bullish divergence momentum that's building on this 4-hour and the day chart. The weekly chart, yes, it could, right into our 100 EMA zone. Relative value, okay, it's like halfway there, okay? So at some point, Cardano might bounce off of that dollar if we ever hit that. Solana, I have too many lines here. Solana just downtrending above the 200 EMA. So a lot of these 200 EMAs are our last level of support on a daily. We lose that, then you might want to start rethinking your positions on Solana. But for now, it's holding. Like it's been holding 3 times here in June, July, August. Now we're going to retest it. So if you want to, this is why TA helps, is you look in the past to see, does this thing bounce on the 200 EMA red line? Yes. If we do, and we tighten in the range and we start getting a triangle action going on, I'm going to get excited about that for Solana and Cardano as well. Right? If you see this happening, then it starts turning into a triangle and then breaks out of the triangle, that's the green go sign for longs. But this is our first RSI low test below, almost below 30 since June, July. So it's a very interesting spot. Intraday could bounce up, okay, but I'm talking long term. Long term, we did lose that momentum, and just like C System and I are saying, the weekly MACD is not looking good. So long term does not look good for crypto. Short term bounces on a day trader, swing trader is doable right now. But be careful, use a stop loss, manage risk. Okay, we'll do 2 more, Doge and SHIB. I know people like that, and it's related to Elon Musk. All right. So Doge. We have our death cross on Doge. Death cross, 50 EMA below the 200 EMA is bad. Signals a downtrend. That's one reason why we need to be careful right now. Our weekly on Doge has already been downtrending for like 3 months. Okay. Another reason. Elon Musk is selling Tesla right now. Another reason why it's going down. So where could it stop? Well, we already got, yeah, I saw he got, it's kind of funny. He got named Time Person of the Year. He was influential on the stock market and crypto market, so maybe that's why they gave it to him. Because who in history has that much power? One guy to move stocks and crypto that much. So Doge, here we go. Our resistance at 17 cents and 10 cents, right? It's downtrending, so be careful. Again, if it's downtrending as a long, you want to be careful. Okay, it's always difficult to buy the bottom. You have to have quite a bit of patience. Emotional control and discipline. You just gotta wait, or you start building your position small. Don't go all in now. Don't do that, right? Because if you go on all in right now and it just pops down negative 20%, you're gonna wish like, why didn't I buy negative 20% lower, right? So, but is there a setup? There could be. Our 15 cent, our 16 cents, this needs to hold. We need to hold above 15, 16 cents to get, you could see the MACD momentum any day now. Could bounce up and we could see a nice bounce on Doge, 10%, 18%. 2 targets here on the EMAs. So if somebody's going to try to trade this, you got to put some risk, not this much risk, but you put a little bit of risk, 5% or 10% maximum on a small position. You could put like a 20% target and let that thing go, right? This is crypto trading. It's dangerous, it's volatile, but if you use your TA skills and you do it right, and you have to sell, right? You don't hold forever as a trader, day trader, swing trader. You try to get the bottom, right? You're trying to get this happening in the blue circle. You're trying to get that. You're trying to catch that as a swing trader, try to catch this. So here, it's not really double bottomed yet, right? It might get a V-shaped recovery, and those are always hard to catch unless you're a day trader. But if it's textbook day swing trading, we should see at least a double bottom or a basing right here. Then I'm going to pounce on this thing, and then we're going to catch it up on the upside and then sell it right at this resistance point. If you're a medium-term swing trader, it's the name of the game. Are all the stars aligned in our favor? It's getting closer to that, right? Don't want to buy it up here because it's at the top of the trend line and it didn't break out. Though we could have bought it here, but it stopped out. That's fine. Let it crash down. Where is it going to go to? 15, 14, 13, 12, 10. Is it building momentum to bounce up? It is, yes. So that's why soon, Doge is going to bounce. Soon. Last one, SHIB. XTC, all right, nice. Let's do SHIB and XTC because XTC had 10% today. It's beautiful. All right, so SHIB, what I'm going to do is rewind this, and when you have something like this, all right, you just get your Fibonacci's up. First off, I was saying, could this be a gigantic cup and handle? Could be. SHIB could be, in history, might be one of the greatest cup and handle plays of all time. So it's not impossible, but is it going to happen in 1 week from now? Probably not. But 5 years from now, maybe, right? Because if we're looking at cup and handle from like a weekly pattern or a monthly pattern, daily, maybe. Are we gonna go another 10x on SHIB? Like maybe. That's the Super Bowl target on Shiba Inu. But on our monthly, weekly, nah, it just looks like, no, not really. It looks like we're just going to pull back. Where are we pulling back to? Our 618 zone. So we might see the first potential bounce right here on the support level, like 2888, if it comes down to 1980 or 1380. Or even back to the 500, 600 level is where people are going to start loading up again. If it goes, let's say we have that maximum bear catastrophe, SHIB could go all the way down to like nothing. When SHIB goes down to like nothing, if in the worst case scenario, I'm gonna buy that for sure. Because I learned in the past, just rewind your charts on any of these cryptos on Binance exchange, the classic Binance exchange, you'll see. I'll show you what happens in a massive crash. That's the time you want to load up on crypto and then like forget about it. Well, not forget about it, but then just like let it go. Right? But now since Shiba Inu is still up 400%, there are these three big levels in the blue that we're looking at in the four levels. So Shiba Inu is in a downtrend right now. This was painful to experience, right? Because every day you look at it and you're like, oh, we're just going down. But that's what separates the beginners from more experienced people, is why I spend so much time on it, even though we're crashing, is you get ready for where's the low going to be and then buy it there or buy some there, right? 2000 SHIB, that could be your target. First bounce, 3000 SHIB. I mean, first target, 3000 SHIB or 2000 SHIB. Relatively speaking. Could Shiba Inu go back down to 500? Yes, it could. But again, why did SHIB do this? I remember calling it that one guy. I never saw him again in the stream, but he asked me about this in like September, right? He asked me like it must have been right here, like 2 weeks before the explosion. We had the upside down head and shoulders. Okay, and I was saying this thing's gonna go at least 50 to 100%, and it went 10x. Right? So do we have that set up on SHIB again? No, that's why. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the hype. It's fading down now. So it needs to find the bottom. Is it building? Yes. MACD momentum, bullish momentum is building. It's a matter of when. When is it going to bounce? Are 4 hours downtrending? Okay, that's fine. That's normal. Right? Then we got to, even if we bounce up, right? It's not the lowest. Excuse me. Let me rewind. Even if we bounce up on Shiba Inu, we're not mooning because of one green rally. You guys see that, right? What's going to make us moon on SHIB is fundamentals and then a nonstop uptrend that does not come down. The key with this is, and why I knew to stay away from SHIB, is we bounced up, but it came down. And it downtrended, so I'm like, I'm not going to try to day trade this. The odds are not in my favor for that. It's not basing. I want to see a base go sideways. Let's find the support level on SHIB before we jump back in. But it's got to be at a low level of value where everyone's going to think. Half the market's going to quit because they lost too much money. And then half the market that stayed safe or stayed with the market, they have money on hand. They said that's a good opportunity and they'll buy. So let me show you the example. We just use Bitcoin itself. Let's use Bitcoin. Let me go on a, we'll end soon. These Bittrex. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. And again, I'm not like yelling at everybody. I just have to talk loud into the mic, or else nobody can hear me. So here we go. Even if we look 3 or 4 years at Bitcoin, this is not the best chart. We could look. Let's look at BLX. Bitcoin Liquid Index. You get data all the way back to what's the real one? You get data all the way back to like 2013 or something. I love this chart. Oh yeah, 2011. All right, so we're looking at almost the entire life of Bitcoin here on a weekly chart. This is Bitcoin, the life of Bitcoin. Turn everything off. I like to do this sometimes. Even just turn the volume off. Turn everything off. Look at the price only. Even if at a line chart, whatever you want to do that makes sense. It's looking like we're double topping. In the entire life of Bitcoin, the 10 years of Bitcoin price is on this chart, starting at a beautiful 5 cents, right? Now it's $46,741. Incredible run. But you'll see here it's double topping. We have not really had a double top on a weekly Bitcoin ever on a weekly chart. This is why I'm taking it so seriously. You see here, this is not a weekly double top. That's just it is a top. So let's mark all our tops here. Here, the big tops here, and I'm gonna call this as our top for this year. All right. How long did it take for us to bottom out? 196 days. 714 days for this one in 2013 to 15. That's like 2 years, right? How long did this one take? The last one, the big one, 2017 to 19, 448 days, 1.5 years. That's why if you take a big long-term perspective on Bitcoin is we could downtrend on Bitcoin for like a year straight, 1.5 years, all the way back down to like a $5,000 Bitcoin, okay? So be careful of that. Why? Because of the double top on the weekly. We have never seen that yet. It's never happened until now. That's why I'm being very serious about crypto right now. The timing of it is perfect. The timing of it is perfect, right? Because the stock market tapering program is going to pull back down stocks most likely in the short term for 6 months to 1 year. Oil's trending down. Crypto's kind of trending down, right? If nothing good fundamental happens with our government here in the USA or your government, we lose momentum. How many times has it happened in the life of Bitcoin? 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth. This could be the fourth time. Okay, everybody? So just be careful. It's not impossible. Cryptos are very weak assets in terms of volatility. The float, the number of coins available, the volatility, the players in this market, okay? Because the reason why it's easy to come down is we do not have too many hedge funds and institutions that are holding stuff, okay? If you study Wyckoff method, it's the composite operator, so to speak, meaning the big money holders. In cryptos, the whales. In stock markets, hedge fund and institutions. So again, if you could look at ownership, just go on like a Yahoo Finance, look at the fundamental page or the statistics page, or it's like whatever one of those pages. But you'll see institutional holding, meaning the big money are holding that stock, and that's why the price is not crashing. Does that make sense? Nobody, they're not selling. But once those big money players start selling, you'll get a COVID-19 type of crash in stock market, which was on this chart, which was this. It looks small on the charts, but it was a negative 50% retrace down. Negative 50%. In how many weeks of COVID? It took 1.5 months, so that's accelerated, right? So we could, for a normal crash, it could take 1.5 years, but still we could crash down negative 50%. It could take 6 months, anything like that. Excuse me, noise. Okay, so I'm calling it here on the stream. Just remember it. Remember this picture on a weekly for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of crypto. If we do not have any good news and anything good happening in Bitcoin, this could be the start of the downtrend. It really does kind of look like it because on yellow too, it comes down and it bounces up. But if we do not maintain the bounce to keep going up, this thing's probably going to go down, right? You try to bounce attempt up, can't do it. One more time, can't do it. And then you have anything bad happen. Here was the crypto civil war, Bitcoin Cash civil war, crash down. Same thing here. We tried so hard for 6 months, right here, 3 months, to push this thing up. Bulls are tired right now. They're not hyped on crypto. So that's why in the back of my mind, I'm thinking if we do not maintain the uptrend in the next 6 months, Bitcoin is in trouble. Okay, Bitcoin could be in trouble because we have this double top formation. If that comes true, game over for bulls, game over. All right. So I don't want to end it on a negative note though. So because I know a lot of people are starting out their long bulls. So let's try to keep it positive in our mindset. So if we have that scenario in our mind, where are we going to buy them as long bulls? Where are we going to buy? So our targets to the downside, we'll end it here, is our short-term medium targets would be, if you're trying to trade, would be somewhere in this zone. 44,000 with the medium-sized risk. Let me bring an ATR. Let's get accurate here. So Bitcoin moves about $3,000 to $300 a day on average. So $3,300 about, not a day, but for the 14 day period, the time period, about 7%. So Bitcoin, if you're a swing trader, you're going to have a 7% stop loss with a 14% target. You get your 2-to-1 reward to risk. This is how you play Bitcoin. It's downtrending. At some point, it's going to fall down, right? So you could start buying, maybe loading up around now, or 44,000 or 40,000. It's probably going to stop at some point here and bottom out like this. And then if it's true downtrend, it'll make a lower high, but then we'll stop there and then make a lower low over time. So there's still trading opportunities. You have to wait for it though. So we'll end it there, okay? Wherever somewhere here in the 44,000, for about 45,000 average range is probably where we're going to stop on crypto unless something bad happens. So it could just go like this and then bounce up, and then there's that one swing trade money to be made, like this leg. We're trying to catch this bounce as longs. All right, so I'm going to leave it there as a positive. Buy opportunity. Again, this is just educational. It's not financial advice. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching, following, and sticking around. This is what separates the beginners from more experienced traders, is that I know a lot of people just quit the market and they're not even looking at this stuff anymore and thinking about it, right? But the fact that you're here is you have an advantage over everyone else in the world right now who's not paying attention. Okay, so I know it's the end of the year, but you still have to look at your assets. So here we go. Thank you so much for following. I'm streaming live on TradingView, live on YouTube, live on Twitch right now. I have a free Discord group every week. I give out a free weekly watch list of volatility and the big shakers and movers in the stocks and crypto world. This week, again, we have a lot more economic data. It's going to be more of a stock market week this week. The Federal Reserve of the USA press conference on Wednesday, quadruple witching Friday on Friday, which means you have 4 times the options and futures contract expiring. It's going to be the most wild day on Friday. So be careful of Friday. Be careful of Wednesday, the FOMC meeting. And then watch out for this Bitcoin bounce, whenever this thing's going to happen. All right. So if you like what you saw today, if you learned something, go ahead and give me a follow on these platforms. Cheer donations are always appreciated to keep the stream going, and helps me produce quality TA. Hope you have a nice week. Happy holidays, everybody. Let's stay positive, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.